April showers bring May parsley. Of course, there's the parsley in April. How's it going, parsley? Surprised you made it through the frost. Welcome to the Deliberate Mainer. I'm Jeff. And today we're going to build barn doors. I'm going to take this little pile of wood here. Got some 5/4 by 4, piece of 5/4 by 6, and a whole bunch of this 5/8 by 6 fir. And we'll slap this all together in some form or fashion. We'll figure that out and make a door. But first, what's the temperature in here? My God, we're right back to winter. Spring was good while it lasted, I suppose. Let's get locked and loaded with the kerosene heater here. So I've done a crude drawing up for the barn doors and what they're going to be used for. I'm building a barn project up the coast, and on one of the walls there are going to be 3 windows right next to each other, separated only by 2 2x4 studs, making it 3 inches between each. Each window's 24 inches by 72 inches, so 2 feet by 6 feet. And it's an older building that I'm putting this addition on, and I want to keep that old look. And though it would be nice to have the windows there, I want to have the ability to cover them up. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and ordered a 13-foot barn door track, and we're going to make 2 barn doors that'll slide. So we'll go right here and right here. 2 barn doors that'll slide along this 13-foot track and open up to reveal the windows, and when you don't want them, close them up. So that's what we're building today. So basically we need doors that fill a space that's 81 inches with trim. So you see each window is 24 inches. We got the 3 for the 2 studs between each. And then on this, I'm going to trim out the windows in 1x5, which is 4.5 inches. So that's 4.5 inches on each side. So the door space is 87 inches wide here. And up here with the trim on a 72-inch window, we're looking at 81 inches high. And of course, we got to take that 87 and divide it by 2 to make 2 separate doors. As to not humiliate myself, I did the math off camera. Turns out that half of 87 is 43 1/2. Go figure. So the hinges I have for this, or the hangers rather, with rollers attached to them that I have for this 13-inch track, it's part of a kit. And so I need this 5/4 by 6 to accommodate the bolts for the hangers on the doors. So the top and bottom support of the doors will be this 5/4 by 6 material, and the sides and center supports will be this 5/4 by 4. And we'll top it off with this really pretty, I love this stuff, 5/8 by 6 fir. Has a center bead on one side, which will be the side facing out, and then just V-match on the end. So we'll build the frame first out of the 5/4, and we'll cover it with this gorgeous stuff, sand her up and make her look pretty. All right, so we'll get 43 1/2. got the two top supports for the door. Let's start figuring out the sides. So a by 6 should be, in theory, always good to check, 5.5 inches. And it is. Only the top is going to be the 5/4 by 6, because that's all I have on hand. It's not a good lumber transporting day, that's for sure. Pine doesn't care for getting wet. So at 5.5, we're down to, let's see, 75.5. All right, so the bottom's going to be with this by 4. Oh yeah, 3.5 inches. So now we got to take 3.5 off of this 75.5 for the uprights, which is 72 inches. So we're going to make 1, 2. So the two doors again, split halfway down this window here. So we're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4 uprights at 72. There's one. That's a dose. There's 3. That was 4. Here's where we're at so far. Got the top here again by 6 to accommodate the hangers for the rolling barn door track, and 2 uprights. Let's do some bottoms. So we're going to cut those 2 bottom support pieces, 43.5. And by the way, I'm not holding the camera upside down. I'm left-handed, so I measure right to left. They haven't made a left-handed tape measure yet. All right, we've got both our bottom pieces. Now we got to worry about some support in the middle here. I have the basic rectangle for one of the doors. I'm just stacking up the other door over here. Only room to assemble one at a time. So now we need to figure out how we're going to support this whole structure. I think the best bet is tried and true here in Maine, is to do a center board right here. And then I'm going to do a cross member down this way and a cross member down that way. That should keep her together. Boom! Centerpiece. Cut that one. Add it to the pile for door 2. All right, now I have the bottom, the top, the 2 sides, and I've marked dead center. On the uprights, put the cross piece in. Now we got to figure out some angles. And what better to do that with than this beautiful little miter saw protractor. Got the little cross members in there. We'll tie this little ditty together, do the other door, then we'll face it. Gonna use pocket screws on the uprights just to tie this thing together. They're by no means structural, but it makes it a heck of a lot easier to put them together, keep it square. Put a little tight Mon 3 here, my cap. So this is one of the uprights that's going to the bottom piece. Start here and work our way around. Be sure to get glue over every portion of the wood, but don't make it so globby that you gotta spend 9 hours sanding the damn thing. Bring it together, square it up, Use your water bottle to hold down the piece so it doesn't fall off the end. And we'll see if we can clamp this up a bit. Come on, baby. There she goes. Throw some pocket screws over here. That. Okay. So one side will go right around on all four corners. I'm using Titebond 3 here. Never used it before. I have a bottle of Titebond 2. I've been a Titebond 2 guy for a while. But I left it up at my job site, which is an hour and a half away. So I picked up this Titebond 3. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. So far, so good. Guess you really never know until the time comes when the glue has to hold things together. Anyone else use these pocket screws? I have mixed feelings on them. Tell me what you think about them. I use, of course, the Craig quote-unquote system. They're good for putting, assembly, but they don't do well for structural integrity. But let me know down below. All right, last corner. Get right into those pores. Now look at that, will ya? Got ourselves a door frame. Let's measure up and get this middle piece in. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff right there. No, you stay right there. Stay square, my friend, stay square. All right, there's one side. Okay, now we have two door frames of which to build upon to create what, after the sum of all parts, will create barn doors. So we're going to do these corner pieces, and we're going to do them opposing so that you're only going to be able to see the structure of the door from inside the building. So we're just going to throw these up there like so. I'm going to use a finish nailer and some glue, get those in, and we should be good to go. Before we do that, however, we should always make sure these bad boys are square. We're looking good. I'd say we're pretty square. Good enough for government work, as my grandfather used to say. All right, let's face them. We're going to face them with this fur. It's a nice material, mostly knot-free. Great for staining. These, however, will be painted. And although you might be saying to yourself, that's a shame to paint that, you'll see it's part of the design. It needs to be painted. So what I'm going to do, none of these things are square out of the lumberyard. They'll pretend to be, but they really aren't. So I'm just going to, I only need 81 inches to go on the frames. These are 7-footers. So I'm just going to snip and square up at least one edge of all of these before I actually cut them all to length. Yeah, I'd say that end was a little crooked. All right, we got those all butted up, 90 degrees, at least on one side. Let's cut them to length. We need 81 inches for those little doors right there. I have it marked right there for 81, just a hair over 81 inches. Less than, maybe 81 and a 32nd if it even goes that high. But a good trick to get all 16 of these cut so they're exactly the same is to just measure out to the saw 81 inches and clamp a little block at the end of your miter table, and all of them will be the same length. Things have definitely improved in the temperature department this afternoon. And it went from a gloomy day, the gloom's still over there, to a gorgeous sunny day. Ish. That could change rapidly, but in the meantime, we'll take advantage because now I need to use the table saw, which needs to be on that side in order to fit what we need to do, which is cut either end of the boards that are going on the door. So I have them all laid out. As you can see, the door frame is underneath. They're all laid out, and I have determined that 3 7/8 off of this end will get everything so it's nice and centered on there. So we'll start by making this board 3 7/8. Lay out everything else. When we get to the end here, it should be 3 7/8, but if not, we'll make the 1/16 of an inch adjustment necessary to make that one so it sits dead even. So let's get to moving the table saw and cutting. Well, we'll set the old girl to 3 7/8. This is the oldest power tool I own, this table saw. And although I'd love to get a new table saw, she's never let me down. So we keep her going. The board I just cut is lined up here. I'm just going to mark it right here because I'm going to gob every surface of the frame with that Tight Bond 3 over here. We'll throw that all through here. Just mark these so that I don't over glue. And then I'm going to fasten it with my brad nailer using 1.5-inch brads. All right, I feel pretty good. We're gonna send it. First one's on. 9 to go. So there is the first piece. I'll go ahead and blast that out and catch you at the other end. Okay, we got the full pieces on. Let's see what the end piece looks like for a cut. So looks like things went well for the install. I've got 4 and 13/16 on this side. And of course, if we look over here, there's 3 7/8. But the goal here, you're like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Well, the goal here is to have the reveal on the top of the wood roughly the same, which over here it will be. Over here it'll be at the halfway mark, and we'll do the same thing on the other door so it'll look like a continuous unit. We'll go ahead and trim this one down, get it installed, and then we got a whole nother one to do. Okay, got her cut. This is 3 13/16. That was talking out of my derriere. So 3 7/8, 3 13/16, 16th difference. It centers these guys where they need to be, centers the whole door. So let's put this piece on here. That, my friends, is a barn door. Okay, well, the day's not getting any younger. Let's do it. There they be, all done. And geez, they almost fit the shop perfectly. Maybe I should just hold on to these bad boys. There they are. So that's going to do it for me tonight. I'll be back in the morning, about 3 seconds for you guys. Good morning. I'm about a pot of coffee in and 2 doors away from not having to work on a Saturday. But who are we kidding? Gonna put some platinum patch, DAP stuff, into the nail holes. And we got quite a few of those. Fill those up, fill up any imperfections, then we'll get to sanding. All the nail holes have been filled and general imperfections in the wood. And now I have it all dusted off. I'm going to paint it up. So there it is. A barn door all primed and ready to go. The other one will look just like this. And I'll take you along when it comes time to install them at my job site. That's probably another 2 weeks off before these get hung. Mostly because of the supply chain delays and getting a hardware set here to do the barn doors. So we'll bring them up to the job site. I'll paint them their final color, and They're going to look great once they're installed. So thank you for joining me as I built these barn doors, and we'll see you next time. I'll leave you with just another glance of the barn doors side by side.